At least the Côte d'Azur marina sparkled in the Mediterranean sun, luxury yachts bobbing gently in their berths. I stood on the private dock watching my family pose for photos in front of what they thought was their rented vessel for their successful family members-only cruise. If they'd bothered to read the name on the yacht, Celeste's Vision, they might have figured it out sooner. My heart raced as I anticipated the moment they'd realize the truth, a moment I'd planned for months. "Claire, what are you doing here?" My mother's voice cut through the sea breeze, sharp as ever. "The dock is private." I smiled, adjusting my Hermès scarf. "I know. Security," she called out, waving to the dock staff. "We have an intruder." The security guard approached, his uniform crisp in the evening light. "Is there a problem, Miss Thompson?" "Yes," Mum said triumphantly. "My daughter is trespassing. This is a private dock for the yacht's owner." "I know," he replied calmly. "That's why I let her in." Mum's perfectly maintained facade cracked slightly. "What?" "Miss Celeste is the owner," he explained, using my preferred name, the one I'd built my shipping empire under, while my family still called me Claire. "You can't be serious," Mum scoffed, her eyes narrowing. "This is some kind of mistake." "Claire, explain yourself," I smirked, savouring her disbelief. "Oh, I will, Mother. Just wait." "We've been expecting her." The silence that followed was broken only by the gentle lapping of waves against the hull. My brother, James, stopped mid-pose, his designer sunglasses slipping down his nose. My sister Emma's champagne glass froze halfway to her lips. "This is ridiculous," Mum finally managed. "You expect us to believe you own this yacht?" Emma snapped, her voice dripping with scorn. "You've been playing at business while we've been building legacies." I tilted my head, unfazed. "Legacies? Like the one you're standing on, rented from my empire?" "We rented this yacht through Premier Nautical Ventures, my company," I supplied helpfully, "along with about 30 other luxury vessels in this marina. Though this one," I patted the gleaming hull, "is my personal favourite." "Your company?" "Emma." My voice cracked. I pulled out my keys, specifically the electronic fob that controlled the yacht's security systems. "You're lying," James interjected, his face flushed. "You couldn't even afford a dinghy when you started." I raised an eyebrow. "And yet, here we are, on my flagship yacht. Funny how things change when you actually work for it." With a soft beep, the gangway lights illuminated and the yacht's systems hummed to life. "Impossible," James sputtered. You're nothing." Dad always said. Dad said a lot of things. I cut him off, usually without bothering to check if they were true. Speaking of Dad, he stood at the back of the group, his expression unreadable. "You never believed in me," I said, locking eyes with him. "You called my dreams childish, said I'd fail. How does it feel to be wrong?" He shifted uncomfortably, avoiding my gaze. He'd been the one to declare 12 years ago that I was throwing my life away by starting a small yacht charter business instead of joining the family investment banking firm. Now his successful family-only cruise was about to get very interesting. "But the booking," Mum protested weakly. "Premier Nautical Ventures confirmed your rental of Celeste's Vision for a 7-day Mediterranean cruise," I finished. "So if you'd done your research, you might have wondered why the company's CEO is named Celeste Thompson." My phone buzzed. A message from my port manager. "Everything ready for the reveal." "Perfect timing," I texted back. "Let's show them what success really looks like. Ladies and gentlemen," I called out, my voice carrying across the dock. "This is absurd," Mum hissed. "You're embarrassing us in front of everyone," I laughed softly. "Embarrassing? I'm just getting started." "Welcome aboard, Celeste Vision, or should I say, my dream." The yacht's crew emerged on cue, immaculate in their uniforms. "Welcome aboard, Miss Celeste," they chorused, completely ignoring my stunned family. "The master suite is prepared as requested," my chief steward announced, "and the additional accommodations have been arranged." "Master suite?" Emma sneered. "You're giving us your leftovers?" I shrugged. "You wanted luxury. I'm giving you a front row seat to mine." Mum's face darkened at the emphasis on master suite, the one she'd specifically requested in her booking. "Now wait, just a minute." "No, Mother," I interrupted. You wait. For 12 years, you've excluded me from family events because I wasn't successful enough, called my business a hobby, told everyone I was finding myself, while my siblings were building real careers. We were protecting you, Mum said, her voice trembling with false sincerity. You weren't ready for our world. I stepped closer, my voice low. Your world? I built a better one. I gestured to the marina around us. Take a look. Every yacht with the Premier Nautical logo, my shipping company, that transports your precious investment materials. Also mine. The luxury charter service you used to book this cruise. Would you like to guess? Emma had pulled out her phone, frantically Googling Premier Nautical Ventures' estimated worth. Oh my God, this can't be real, she whispered, her screen glowing with the numbers. You're richer than all of us combined. I nodded, surprise. 5 billion at last valuation, I supplied, though with the new European expansion it's probably closer to 7. Not bad for a hobby, wouldn't you say? James stepped forward, his business persona taking over. Claire, if we'd known... You'd have what? I asked. Invited me to the cruise? Bragged about your successful sister? Tried to take credit for my achievements? We would have supported you, James lied, his jaw tight. Family sticks together, I chuckled. Family? You cut me out the moment I chose my own path. That's not fair, Mum protested. We were trying to motivate you. By excluding me? By making me feel worthless? I laughed, but there was no humour in it. Well, congratulations. You motivated me to build something so successful that you literally paid me to rent my own yacht. The crew was trying to hide their smiles. They'd heard all about this family during our planning sessions. You planned this, Emma accused, her eyes flashing. You wanted us to look like fools. I didn't deny it. You made it so easy. The cruise deposit, Dad spoke for the first time, his voice hollow. How much did we? 250,000 euros, 0 cents, I said. Non-refundable, of course, though I suppose I should thank you. It'll cover the crew bonuses for putting up with this charade. My phone buzzed again, this time with a news alert. Premier Nautical Ventures announces major expansion, stock soars. Oh, by the way, I added, showing them the headline, you might want to check your investment portfolios. Several top financial advisors are recommending Premier Nautical stock today. Shame you didn't buy in when it was just my little hobby. You're gloating, Mum spat, her composure crumbling. This isn't about success, it's about revenge. I tilted my head. Maybe it's both. Mum sank onto a dock bench, her carefully planned cruise unravelling before her eyes. But where will we stay? Oh, the cruise is still on, I assured her, just with some slight modifications to the arrangements. I nodded to the chief steward, who began distributing new room assignments. James, you and Jessica will be in the port guest cabin, the small one near the engine room. Emma, you and Thomas have the starboard crew quarters. Dad, you'll find the forward cabin, cosy crew quarters. This is humiliating, Emma cried, clutching her designer bag. You can't do this to us. I smiled coolly. I already have. Emma shrieked, but we booked. You booked through my company on my yacht, I reminded her, and as owner, I've made some changes. The master suite naturally is mine. This is outrageous, Mum declared, standing up. We'll find another yacht, in Côte d'Azur during peak season. I smiled. Good luck. Premier Nautical controls most of the luxury charters in this marina, and even if you find an independent operator, your deposit is still non-refundable. You've trapped us, James said, his voice low with fury. This was your plan all along. I shrugged. You wanted a luxury cruise. I'm just delivering it my way. My phone chimed with another message. My marina manager. Paparazzi arriving in 15 minutes for the Premier Nautical press conference. Want them to catch the family drama? Perfect timing, I texted back. Make sure they get my good side. Looking up at my family, I continued. You have 2 choices. Stay and enjoy a lovely Mediterranean cruise, albeit in slightly humbler accommodations than you planned. Or leave, lose your deposit, and explain to all your society friends why you're not posting photos from your luxury yacht vacation. You're heartless, Mum whispered, tears in her eyes. After everything we've done for you. I leaned in, my voice icy. Everything? You mean nothing. The silence was broken only by the gentle clinking of rigging against masts. You're enjoying this? James accused. Enjoying watching your perfectly crafted facades crumble? Watching you realize that your unsuccessful sister owns the company you're all desperate to impress? I smiled. Yes, I rather am. You'll regret this, Emma warned, her voice shaking. You can't just erase us. I laughed. Erase you? I'm inviting you into my world, on my terms. Dad stepped forward, something like respect finally showing in his eyes. You built all this without any help. Without your help, I corrected. Turns out I didn't need the family investment banking empire to be successful. I just needed you all to underestimate me long enough to build my own empire. You've changed, Dad said quietly. You're not the Claire we knew. I met his gaze. I'm the Celeste you never bothered to know. The sound of cameras clicking drew everyone's attention. The marina was filling with photographers, all aimed at Premier Nautical's flagship yacht and its dramatic family scene. Smile, I advised my family. These photos will be in all the business magazines tomorrow. Premier Nautical Co. Celeste Thompson welcomes family aboard personal yacht. Such a heartwarming story of family reunion. Don't you think? Isn't a reunion, Mum snapped. It's a spectacle. I grinned. And you're the stars. Mum's face went from red to white. She understood the game now. They could either play along and save face or become a very public embarrassment. What do you want? She asked quietly. Want? I laughed. I have everything I want. A successful company, a beautiful yacht, and the priceless opportunity to watch you all realize exactly who you've been looking down on all these years. You're cruel, Emma said, her voice breaking. You could have told us. I tilted my head. And miss this moment? Never. My phone started buzzing with messages. Other family members suddenly realizing who I really was, business contacts connecting the dots, social climbers trying to realign themselves with the real power player. The press will want photos of the happy family, I continued. I suggest you all change into something more appropriate for a day at sea. Your new cabins have suitable attire laid out. Premier Nautical branded, of course. Can't miss a marketing opportunity. Crew uniforms, James growled. You're making us your servants. I smiled sweetly. Think of it as a team-building exercise. Emma looked at her designer sundress in horror. Premier Nautical branded clothing? Standard crew wear, I confirmed sweetly. Since you'll be staying in crew quarters, it seemed appropriate. The chief steward stepped forward. Shall I show them to their cabins, Miss Celeste? Please do. And remind them about the crew dress code. We wouldn't want them to feel out of place. This is a nightmare, Mum muttered as they were led away. You've ruined everything, I called after her. No, Mother, I've just begun. As my family was let aboard, each looking more shell-shocked than the last, I turned to face the cameras. Celeste Thompson, CEO of Premier Nautical Ventures, welcoming her family aboard her personal yacht. It would make a perfect story. The cameras flashed, capturing every moment of their defeat. I waved elegantly, my smile radiant for the press. My phone buzzed one final time. My PR director. Stock up 20% on expansion news. Want me to mention the family angle? I smiled, typing back. Absolutely. Focus on the self-made success angle and make sure to note that I started as a small yacht charter hobby. Success, they say, is the best revenge. But success combined with impeccable timing and a flair for dramatic reveals, that's priceless. You've won, Dad said softly as he passed me, his voice barely audible. I nodded. And you've lost. As for my family, well, they wanted a luxury cruise experience. They just never specified which side of the service dynamic they'd be on. Welcome aboard Celeste's Vision family. Your crew uniforms are in your cabins. After all, every good success story needs a humble beginning, and nothing says humble quite like crew quarters on a yacht you thought you were important enough to rent. "You'll pay for this," Emma hissed as she boarded. I winked. "You already have. €250,000, 0 cents to be exact." The Mediterranean sun glinted off the yacht's pristine hull as photographers jostled for position. "Another perfect day in Côte d'Azur, at least for one of us. Shall we set sail?" I asked the captain, loud enough for both my family and the press to hear. "I believe my guests are eager to begin their experience." The crew cheered, their loyalty to me unmistakable, as my family's faces burned with humiliation. The anchor began to rise, and with it my family's last illusions about who really held the power in this relationship. Sometimes success isn't just about making money. Sometimes it's about making a point. And what better point than showing your successful, family-only crews that success doesn't always look like what they thought it did. Welcome to my world, family. The crew meeting starts at dusk. Don't be late. The owner doesn't appreciate tardiness. As the yacht pulled away, I leaned against the railing, watching my family disappear below deck. This wasn't just a cruise. It was my victory lap.